Well, I think when John decided to move, obviously his running skills were things that we wanted to take advantage of, and so we tried to get him involved in some quick screen stuff, and I think we're doing a good job with that, whether or not it's a one receiver screen or out of the empty formation. And then we jumped he and DJ in the backfield, I think 3 or 4 snaps the other night. By the way, we don't call it the Q package anymore because that was not a very successful venture. So we call it the Wild Horn. And first snap of that, he did a great job reading the counter read and broke it for over 30 yards. And then we worked a little play where Colt came around. Or DJ actually pitched the ball to him, and so we'll continue to play with that, and that gives speed on the field. But as a receiver, just as a receiver, I'm really pleased with the progress that he's made, and he's just going to get better. I mean, the more he was better this week, appreciably better this week than he was the first week. He just each game he feels more comfortable, and you can see it in the way he runs his routes. And well, it's a lot of fun. It's to have toys that we can play with and different guys that we can try to get on the field. And the challenge is to try to make it look a little bit different each week without it being disruptive to the other offense.
Does the fact that he's in the game at receiver change the way a defense might see that when he goes in the quarterback? Like last year when he came in, everybody knew he was coming in to do that.
Well, I think that they have less time. Last year when he entered the ball game, obviously you had 2 quarterbacks going in the ball game at the same time. Now, since he's a starting receiver, he's already in the ball game, and all of a sudden you come out and now he's in the backfield, so there's less time to react. Obviously, they're making checks and things like that, but it gives us more flexibility. Well, I do think that because of his ability both as a runner and receiver now, and obviously he can throw the ball, it gives you more different things that you can do with him, and that causes problems for the defense.
Such an incredible last year, and we know he'll probably get there, and he's doing great this year. But trying to match up to the percentages and stuff that he did last year, is that some of the pressure? Maybe that's going through his head.
Well, I'm sure it is to a certain degree. It would be hard for it not to be. In fact, Major said today, he said, he completed, Colt completed 24 out of 34 for 71. He said in all my years, I had 1 year I completed 71% in a game. So it's not like he's doing bad. But he has set the bar so high, not only for himself but for all of us, that we think anything less than 77, he's had a bad game. But he'll come out of it like all shooters in basketball or hitters in baseball. I'm not concerned.
Do you tell him anything, or you
I just tell him to relax and have fun. I really do. I told him I want you to look back one day when you're on the rocking chair and say, my senior year at Texas was the most fun I ever had playing football.
Coach, what about chemistry? Last year it was Shipley and Quan, and they were just so consistent. You got a lot more pieces to work with at the receiver position. Is some of that just chemistry between he and his receiver?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. I think what you're seeing through 3 ball games is obviously he's very comfortable with Jordan. He's very comfortable with Dan Buckner in his new role. And we still are working through some of the things with the other spots because guys are playing, even those like James Kirkendall is playing a little different spot than he played last year. And so I think that will continue to grow as the season goes on.
Coach, can you discuss maybe things you look at halftime? Obviously, the offense didn't click the way you wanted it to, and then it does obviously in the second half. Anything specific that an adjustment that was made that really worked?
Probably the 2 biggest things that we discussed at halftime is we did not feel like we were playing at a fast enough tempo. And so we really ratcheted up in the second half and played at a much faster tempo, and I think that was very beneficial. And the other thing is we said, hey, we had done such a poor job on third downs. And third downs are what keep you on the field. Obviously, you want to play ahead of the chains and all that, but we had done such a poor job on third downs, we wasn't able to stay on the field. We were 3 out of 8 in the first half. In the second half, we were 5 out of 8. One of those was a kneel down on third down in the game. So, our third down conversions went out of the roof in the second half. That allowed us to stay on the field, create rhythm that we always talk about, and I think those two things I think were huge.
Can you talk a little bit about the progression that Dan Buckner's made just from spring into summer and fall?
Well, in the spring, he did not play any of the flex tight end position. So we started him there in fall camp. Really, we wasn't sure about DJ Grant, who was our first thought to go in there, but we wanted to make sure we had somebody behind him. And so when DJ went down, it kind of fell on Dan that, hey, you need to be the guy. We'd like for you to be the guy. And he's really just done a tremendous job. And I think a little bit like John, each week he gets more comfortable with the flexibility he has in that spot, the route structures and those kind of things. And obviously he had 3 huge plays in the ball game the other night. So, and that's not even counting the touchdown. I'm talking about explosive plays down the field. So we just have to continue to work with him. But he's having fun and he's enjoying that role. And receivers always enjoy the role if they're catching the ball.
Coach, can you talk about Trey Newton and just are you surprised that he took this job this quickly? Talk about his progression, where he is right now.
Trey has really good vision. He has very good patience at the running back position. Sometimes the vision and the patience kind of go hand in hand, waiting just a little bit before you make your final decision on what to do. Obviously, he played in a no-huddle offense in high school. I think you'll see him continue to progress in the passing game. He caught one ball the other night. I could see him being a bigger factor in the passing game as the season goes on. But I'm really pleased with where he's at. And one of the things I talked to him about after the ball game is, you probably have to be in a little better shape. He was gassed after 20 carries, but really did a good job. And another guy that will continue to grow as the season goes on.
Coach, what do you guys want to do against UTEP?
Well, UTEP is a team that bounces from a 3-down structure to a 4-down structure. Normally it's 3 down. They are a lot of blitzing. They will be probably the highest percentage of blitz that we will have seen to this point in the season. Breaking them down, it's over 50% of the time. So you got to protect. You got to make sure we protect the quarterback. And then we just want to make sure that we're able to be proficient in the run game, because when you play a team that blitzes a lot, and if you can continue to run some, it helps protections, and it really lessens the amount of blitzes that you can get if you pop a few, because they have less guys in the second level to make the play. So I would say those are the 2 things at this point that we really need to do a good job at. Thank y'all.